Hello and welcome to the Daily Ramble here on Claret and Booze. My name's Gary and I've got a ton of transfer news for you. Some of it you'll probably know already, other bits you won't. So I'm going to go through it, lots and lots of updates. Okay, so firstly, it's been reported that West Ham have turned down an £88 million bid from Manchester City for Lucas Paqueta, which I hate, by the way. I hate the thought of losing Lucas, but that's been covered to death. It's going to happen. He's going to go. You don't turn your back once Pep shows an interest. Let's face it. Let's be real. I just hope. The new look in midfield ain't gonna be very exciting. Let me put it like that. I just hope they go out. The next focus is going to be on trying to sign some attacking players, some flair players. But don't get your hopes up. So next, Edison Alvarez has actually signed. Because it went quiet, didn't it? Number 19 shirt, which is his dad's number that he used to play in, means a lot to him apparently. Speaks really good English. I watched the interview on the West Ham YouTube channel, which I thought was great. It was really, really good. He came across really well, really genuine. It was him and Ginge, because that's Ginge's old number as well. So if you get a chance, have a look at that. Definitely worth a look. Aaron Cresswell. Wolves have come back in for him, so it looks like a deal is on, and hopefully he won't be training by himself for too much longer. He is, it'd be a shame to see him go. I'm glad this deal's happening because, the thought of after 9 years of great service to West Ham, suddenly leaving under a massive cloud, I thought that would have been a little bit unfair. You know, he shouldn't have had to force it this way. I think West Ham should have been a bit more gracious about it, but there you go. That's West Ham for you. Hey. Next, Harry Maguire, the England international. He still is, by the way. Manchester United. He's actually quite good for England as well. Manchester United player. He hasn't arrived yet. He hasn't been signed. Personal terms and settlement, whatever that means, still not agreed. He is expected to be the captain. All right, so get your head around that and get used to it. Number 41. Our old captain has apparently been advising him to join us. So, thanks for that, number 41. And I don't know. I think he'll be successful because of the way we play. Right, that's my honest opinion of it. A centre half doesn't really excite me. I get excited by flair players. I know, I'm a little bit childish like that because I like to see football played the right way, attacking teams. And to be honest, apart from, over the years, there have been some heroic centre-halves that I've loved. But you don't tend to see them, right? They get on with their job and they do it well. And that's what I hope for Harry Maguire. We don't want to see any of the errors that Nick mentioned in that 9-minute show reel last night, if you saw the show. So next up, we have James Ward-Prowse, and apparently this deal is done, barring the medical. The medical is going to happen on Friday, and Flynn Downs will be going the other way on a season-long loan, which I think is sensible because he's not going to get really used properly under David Moyes anyway. And, fingers crossed David Moyes won't be here beyond the end of the year, so he might never see him again. Never see him again. I'd love to be in Downs' shoes and never see David Moyes again. But sadly, I've got season tickets and I'm going to see him several times next year. Next up is a link for Folarin Balogun, I think that's how you say it. American striker owned by Arsenal on loan to Reams in France. Fast, good. Decent player. That has been flat denied by our source. Right, so don't get excited about that one. We ain't looking at any fast flair attacking players. Don't fool yourself. Fofana, for Christ's sake, go and get Fofana. Soucek, Thomas Soucek. This one will make you very, very happy indeed. All right, it made Nick really happy. He's delighted at this news. For the last 18 months, his agent's been punting him around, trying to get him $100,000 a week, and frankly, that's failed. 18 months he's been looking for a new club. This is our ever-present Thomas Soucek, right? Nobody took the bait, and so he reluctantly had to come back to West Ham. I don't know what deal he got, but he signed a 3-year contract, so he ain't going anywhere. He's a fixture in our midfield, at least for the Moyes era. Another one who looks like being a fixture in our team for the Moyes era is Michail Antonio. He's been speaking again on his podcast like he does. and his quote is, "I'm being linked and talk of me leaving, but nothing solid, nothing concrete. So I'll keep working hard and playing for the team." And that's music to David Moyes' ears, because that means he doesn't have to really come away from plan A. Michail Antonio lends himself to plan A. I feel a little bit for Mickey, because I know he needed the move, and perhaps it will still happen towards the end of the window, but trying to go to Saudi for no transfer fee is not really acceptable. He is worth a transfer fee, whether he likes it or not. So while I feel for him and his personal situation and all that kind of stuff, you can't expect to be given away if you've still got value, right? So and hopefully he's realised that. So what to make of our new signings? Yeah, I'm going to support them, and I think we all will. As soon as they pull on a West Ham shirt, that's fine. James Ward-Prowse, Harry Maguire, obviously Edison Alvarez. They're not my choice. None of our choices. We didn't want them. This shows that David Moyes is having a hell of an impact on the people that we're buying. He's got 2 of his 3 targets. You know, it remains to be seen whether we'll get the 3rd one in Scott McTominay. Now, that means we've spent... Once these 2 sign, we would have spent 95 million of the, or is it 90? I don't know, of the 105 million Declan Rice money. You know, that's a lot. There's also other money to come from Skamaka. That was 30 million total. Vlasic, I think, was 8 million. Cresswell will be a few million. And then Paqueta is going to be quite a lot of money. But I would rather we held the rest of that money back. If we're going to play in an industrial style, right, then fine. I'll accept that. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be miserable. I ain't going to enjoy it. But if it's productive and it gets results, and we finish, I don't know, bottom half of the table, but safely clear of the relegation zone, then, you know, come next summer, Moyes can run off into the distance, into the sunset, and we will have money in the bank to spend on new players for the next manager that comes in, because the money that's left, the balance, will Tim Steidten will hopefully make that go a long way. If, however, David Moyes is allowed to pick even more players, then I think we've got a problem. We've got a problem if it goes tits up with David Moyes, because we've got his old squad here. And that might be part of the thinking of David Moyes. He might be trying to make it so that it's very difficult to get rid of him. All right. So, but again, don't want to get into conspiracy theories, even though I'm tempted. Our new midfield looks like it's going to be, you know, far from the dream midfield of Alvarez, Paqueta, and Fofana. It's probably going to be Ward-Prowse, Soucek, and Alvarez. We're going to be set piece united. It's going to be workmanlike, industrious, tall, good from set pieces. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. However, look, let's go on to something else. I just want to talk about quickly. If you haven't seen it yet, Chris Akabusi did us the honour of appearing on our channel last night. Still can't get over that he watches us. But anyway, it was a fabulous show. Really, really good chat with Nick, and Chris comes out with, you know, being a former athlete and all that, he's got the mindset, and I think he gets inside the heads of professional athletes. You know, he understands what they're thinking, and I've got to be honest, there was one argument that came up last night about Declan Rice I've never heard before. No one else has said it. He said, number 41, as he calls him, he said, you know, why did he go to Man City? He said, it was likely that it was easier to go to Arsenal and make an impact. And, you know, make a big name for himself, because they haven't won anything in years. So if they scrape the odd cup here and there, you know, that will be a significant impact given the state that Arsenal are in. I mean, look, he went there and said, I came here to win Champions Leagues and Premier League. Who are you kidding? That ain't happening. And then Chris spoke about turgid football, and that's what it's going to be. And this is why I wanted to, you know, build on our new midfield and turgid football. But he also said, and again, it's sensible, because this is fact. He said, if it's successful, if it works, then obviously we will learn to live with it. We won't accept it, but we'll learn to live with it. And he gave the example of 1-0 to the Arsenal. You know, the old when the back pass rule hadn't been brought in, Arsenal would go 1-0 up and then defend for their lives and win 1-0. And they did it week after week after week. It was miserable football, but it delivered a Premier League or a First Division title. Can't remember what it was. It was grim, though. It was grim. But they accepted it because, well, for a start, Arsenal were not very... someone's at the front door. Oh, dear. Don't you love these ring alarms? Just go off everywhere. So yeah, he said, I think personally, the Arsenal fans, they probably enjoyed the Wenger era of beautiful football and great stars and attacking football much more than 1-0 to the Arsenal. However, if you think back of that, to that championship winning team that won the league on the last day of the season, that was bloody exciting, right? That was bloody exciting. Away up at Liverpool. So look, it all depends. Turgid football has got to be accompanied by success. You can't have turgid football without success. That's the message, and I completely agree with that. But we as West Ham fans, we're never going to change. Style over substance is what we used to. We're not used. We didn't start supporting West Ham because we want to win things. It's nice to win things. Don't get me wrong. It's lovely to win things, but we like our teams to have a go at other teams. It's all about the attacking mindset, flair players and having a go and upsetting the odds, turning over Man United, turning over Chelsea, Liverpool, whoever, and that is what we're not doing at the moment. What we're doing at the moment is another version, to my mind, an even worse version of what Alan Kirbishley put in place. And this is something I heard on the Stop Hammer Time podcast, actually. They were talking about the Kirbishley era, and I think it was the final season where it was grim. It was so grim. We finished 10th, but it was grim. And there were a couple of songs, but one was sung by the crowd was attack, 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 attack. They got sick of the team sideways passing and defending. And I think if it goes that way this year, I think that's we're going to hear those songs start popping up again. The fans are going to demand that we show a bit of heart and a bit of bottle and start going at his teams. Don't just sit back. And look, don't ever forget. I know Nick's got a different view on this than me, but he says, he kind of says, "Oh, this is changing us forever. This is going to, forever change us to a miserable, industrious football team." No, it won't. No, fans won't allow that. We're used to stylish football. There might be some young fans, some new fans on the block who think that, because we've won a bit of silverware, that is the way to go. But to us who have been supporting West Ham for many, 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 many years and seen some great players, flair players, no cup wins, but some absolutely brilliant entertainment. You got to say that West Ham and quality attacking football go hand in hand. It is style over substance every single time for most of us. And that may make us unambitious, maybe. But so be it. That's fine. If we're unambitious, we're unambitious. But we support West Ham because we love West Ham and we love that style of football. At least that's talking for me. I don't know about you. Anyway, that is the end of this video. A lot of stuff included in there. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like, hit the bell and subscribe to the channel Claret and Booze here on YouTube, and hit the bell notification icon so you get reminded of future shows. We'll bring you further rambles as the situation develops. Have a good day. It's lovely and sunny out there. See you soon, and come on, you irons.